live. Welcome, everybody, to the 46th episode of Playtest This, featuring our special guest, Evan Halbert, who's almost always on this dang live stream because we had a last minute thing, and so I stepped in and I'm doing mine, and it's fun to give other people a chance to see what it looks like for people to tear down my creations and to have a chance to take some pot shots at my games. So that's always fun. Um, because turns out mine aren't perfect either. Um, who would have thought? So today we have our star-studded panel. We've got Sasha Gelton. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, hello. My name is Sasha Jolton. I am a designer that main design that I'm working on is actually with my buddy Eric, who's also
Oh,
part of the star-studded panel. Dovecot about pigeon keeping. I love design. I love getting other people excited about design, and I teach game design to elementary and middle school kids. That's me.
Eric Hall, introduce yourself.
hi, I'm Eric Hall. Yeah, I do a bit of design. I've been working with Sasha on a couple games, Dovecot about pigeon raising, and then Depletion about resources on a planet and harvesting them as fast as possible until you can run away from its decaying husk. Uh,
Sounds right.
yeah.
Cool. I'm Evan Halbert. You might know me from such places as this live stream or After the Empire. If you already have a copy, go buy another one. Because, yeah. Welcome, everybody. This will be there. We will have a week or two off because I'll be out of town, Gen Con and such. And then we'll be back going strong like normal. So, let's get into the teach, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, just as a heads up, I have played this game a couple of times, and I've played it most recently a couple weeks ago.
I changed
So,
everything.
okay, everything's different now. Got it.
I actually changed the balance of the different actions on the card set.
Okay.
Um, fairly. I don't even know if you'll notice. Let's find out. It'll
Okay.
be fun to see.
Yeah.
So I've got 72 cards here, but since we're playing a 3 or 4 player game, I am throwing those together to make it one gross.
You.
Because 140. All right, it's fine. So everybody is gonna take 3 cards and put them to the right of their tableau, and then turn them face up.
Do you want me to give you cards?
This is the right of your tableau on this side.
I don't
Wow.
know. I'll give you some cards. Or are you not playing?
What's that? Oh, I gave them to you.
Do you want to be red?
No, it's fine.
You're usually red.
It's fine. I won't get
Okay.
confused often. And then draw 4 cards from the deck, and that's your hand. So, on your turn, you are going to take 3 cards from your hand and put them face down in these 3 spots. I'm not putting them face down because I'm showing you how to play. Once everybody has 3 cards face down, we are going to resolve them from the bottom up. And there really is no time to triggering other than on your own tableau, you do the bottom card, then the middle card, then the top card. So how does that work? So in the bottom slot, it says cast text box. And that just means you're going to ignore this number, you're going to ignore this symbol in the middle banner, and you're going to do all the stuff in the bottom. And in the bottom, there's like 4 abilities in the game. One ability is this thing here. That says swap 2 cards. So, what does that look like? Well, I could choose this card and just swap them. Bam, I just did a swap.
Okay.
So that's what swap is. And then once I do this ability, I'm going to give myself a bonus to the upper corner of the card that is up here. And that's really hard to do with snap points. So it's a pain in the butt. But essentially, this 3 plus this 4 makes 7. But we're not there yet, because next is this card. And what we do with this card is we're going to slide it over into our tableau and then do the ability in the banner. So here's our second ability. That ability says you're going to get a card, but you're going to have to wait. That's why the little time symbol. And what you do when you get a card is you're going to grab a card and stick it where you see the time symbol. Bam. Did it. Easy peasy. At the end of the round, I will show you why that's relevant. And then we get up here. We're going to ignore this. We're going to ignore this because we're in the top slot and it's a multi-use card and we're only using the little top ability, which is the number 4. Plus that number 3 that we got from the card down at the bottom. So that's a 7. Everybody else, we're going to see what everybody else's bid is. And whoever has the highest bid is going to grab this here druid. And you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to take the top ability, or you're going to take the card and flip it over, and it'll just be worth a point at the end of the game.
The top ability.
Yep.
All of these look like they just have one ability.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's an ability on the top of the card, and nothing on the back.
The face.
If you choose,
yes.
yeah, face, yeah. If you choose the back, that's 1 point. If you choose the front, you're getting that ability. Which, what is that ability? That ability says, if I have a column of that suit, this card is going to give me 4 bonus points per column of that suit. So if you look over at my tableau, I've got 1 card of that suit. So I do not have a column of 3 cards of that suit, but if I make that a goal for myself, I might be able to complete it and get myself 4 extra points by the end of the game. Because the other abilities we haven't talked about also help you maneuver the cards over in your tableau into various positions and stuff. So basically, the whole course of the game is you put 3 cards down, you flip them up, you resolve them in bottom-up order. Depending on where you put them is which part of the card you're activating, and then you're getting cards into your tableau, and you're trying to get those cards into columns of the same suit, which are also represented by color, but they also have a little identifier icon as well, just in case there's any color issues.
Okay.
And then the druids that you're trying to win, either you don't think you're going to get the bonus scoring, so you just flip the dang thing over and take the point, or you do think you might be able to get the scoring, and you leave it face up, and it's worth nothing unless you have columns of that suit. So it's a gamble. So when you're winning the druid, since it works a little bit different in 3 to 4 player games, hence we stacked an additional set of cards on top of this. In a 3 to 4 player game, the person with the highest bid is going to select which druid thing they want. Do they want the point, or do they want the scoring bonus for columns of that suit? The next highest person is actually going to take the other thing that you didn't take.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the third highest person is going to take this here little token. And this little token says, at the end of the round, when we draw back up, so basically I played 3 cards. I still have 1 card in hand, right?
Yeah.
We draw back up to 4 cards. So I would draw 3 cards. Or I could choose to discard this last card in my hand and draw 4 cards. If I had this token, then I would be drawing back up to 5 cards. That's plus 1 card draw.
Yeah.
And then, after I draw back up, the cards that we set aside in this little spot go into our hand also.
Okay.
So I would draw, if I had this token, I would draw up to 5, and then add this card, so I would end up with 6 cards in my hand.
Okay, so drawing a bunch of cards 1 turn incentivizes you to not care too much about drawing cards on the next turn.
Maybe. It depends on if you're like trying to get to a certain suit or something, because you could discard all the cards in your hand and then draw back up.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just depends. If you're searching for something, then you're going to be flushing a lot of cards. If you're not, then probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple other abilities that we haven't chatted about yet. This ability right here, assuming I put it down here where I would actually activate this section, or if I put it here, I've got one of those symbols here. When it slides over, I would activate that section. Basically what it says pick one card and move it up or down as far as you want. So what does that look like? So this world over here is basically a Candy Crush to the right, with gravity to the right. So if I picked this card and I moved it as far as I wanted this way, then I said, okay, I'm done. I take my hand off the card and it falls back to the right, because that's the gravity side. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a hard wall on the right side. So if I chose this card and I decided to move it up to the, whoa, don't do that, up to the top row, something's going to have to give because there's cards in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And this card can't bump to the right because that's a hard wall, but it can bump to the left. So I would slide this up. Now, technically, it's bumping this out of the way on its way up, but then, of course, gravity comes back in and pulls it right back down.
Okay.
So that's how moving cards around works. Oh my gosh, hands are the worst. So that's what that ability is. And then there's some other variants on that ability. You'll see, you know, this one has half of that ability, and there's a green suit that has the other half of that ability. That, you know, the yellow one lets you move side to side, and the green one lets you move up or down. This symbol just lets you do either one. You pick which one. The last symbol is this card right here.
Mm-hmm.
If I had played this card down here, or in this particular case, if I had played it here and slid it over and used that middle section, what I would be able to do is take a card from my hand and put it anywhere in this central row. So let's say this is the card in my hand. I could either stick it here and let it fall down, or I could just stick it here, or I could stick it on the far right side, which would bump that sucker out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. When
Cool.
you're putting stuff when you're inserting stuff, things always just bump
Yeah.
to your left. Okay.
Yes, exactly. That is basically the game.
Okay.
So, I do not have this extra card. You are going to start with the balance token.
Okay.
It also breaks ties, starting with you and then going left for bidding order. So that's the game. You want to try it?
Remind me what the numbers at the top of the cards were.
That's for the card that you place in this top section. You're going to look at that number plus whatever little banner was on the card in the bottom section. And those two numbers added together are going to give you your total bid for the druid for that round.
Okay.
Yep. And if you get the high bid, you get to choose whether you get which bonus you get. If you get the second highest bid, you get the leftover bonus that the highest guy didn't choose. And third highest is going to get that balance token.
Are we doing the suit match +1?
No. Okay. Started simple, man.
Got it.
Okay. That's the game. Let's give it a try. 8:47. 11 minutes each.
I already had 4 cards in my hand.
Yeah, we should. We should already be set up and ready to go. So go ahead and pick 4 cards and just stick them down. Stick them downtown. I don't know what that means, but don't read into it.
Okay.
What if I want to read into it? So does Eric start with the moon token?
Yes, we're starting him with the moon token.
Got it.
He looks the most like a druid.
Okay, yeah.
That's how that
true.
works.
Very true.
All right.
Okay, so now we're going to flip up a bottom card, do the little ability that's down there. So for me, I'm going to bump this out of the way and slide this card down because the bottom row is the hardest row to get cards into.
Okay.
And then this is going to slide up here. It's going to add to my bid for 2. All right. And what are you working on down there? All right, so that is the ability that lets you take a card from your hand and put it in the middle row somewhere.
I'm going to put it right here.
So
that makes sense to me.
That is not the middle row.
Oh, has to be the middle row.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Wow.
I get to work on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That works. And then you get to turn it sideways, and you're going to add 1 to your bid when we get up there.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then we do our second card. Sasha, you already did your thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to slide this in. And then I have the ability of move my card. Pick one card, move it anywhere. So I'm going to slide this card up by 1, which bumps this out of the way. Just like that.
All right.
And what did you already?
Yeah.
So that slides into your tableau.
Yes. And then I draw a card. Right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if I'm ever micromanaging you too hard, just be like,
no worries.
Dude, I got it.
Yeah. And now we do the last one.
Yep.
And
so I've got a 7.
Got an 8.
What? Did I ever tell you that's
5.
malarkey? Oh!
5.
There's one more thing that is new since Sasha played it last.
Evan wins.
I win. If you look at this, up at the top of in-game scoring, the columns of cards you make are themselves worth some amount of points.
Oh.
Column of green is worth 1 point. Column of yellow is worth 1 point. Column of purple is worth 1 point. Column of red is worth 2 points. Column of blue, 3 points. Column of that circly X grayish thing, 4 points each.
Okay.
Yeah. And that has to do with the differential distribution of the card sets. Yada yada.
Cool.
So what was your bid?
I had 4 plus 1, so I got 5.
5.
So
okay.
I'm third.
So you're third. So you're going to keep that token.
Yeah.
Sasha's going to grab the guy, and he chose to just take the point, which is going to give me the scoring bonus.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. In a 3 and 4 player game, whichever one you don't choose is the thing I get, because I'm the second highest.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess I'll take this side then, because it's... Huh. Okay.
So you're going to take that side, thus depriving me of likely 4 points.
4 points, yeah.
Okay, so I get a 1 point marble.
Okay.
There we go. Beautiful. That is a 1 point marble.
All right.
Now, hold on. Where did that card go that was right here?
That was this.
Okay, cool. So whoever didn't win, so Sasha and I are going to get rid of these cards.
Yes.
Whoever didn't win a druid ability or point is going to slide this card over and then do that middle ability, which is pick a card. Doesn't have to be that card. Pick any card and slide it one direction, up or down.
Okay. I'm going to slide this right here.
So you can't slide it diagonal.
No. So it slides down first.
So it would slide up. So if you chose that card, it would slide up and bump this out of the way.
Okay. But if I can slide this one up,
yes,
and that would do what I want.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then gravity affects those two, and they fall back down.
Yes.
Yep. And now you've got a sweet row of blue. Cool. So now...
All right, and this gets discarded?
And that gets discarded. So now we can discard any cards from our hand if we want, and then draw back up to 4, unless you happen to have that little token, then you draw up to 5.
And then you draw your...
Yeah, and then you're going to draw your leg tree. And then it's the next round, and we're going to put 3 cards face down, and we're going to bid on this druid. So that's how that works. Okay. Well. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Bottom
So,
card.
bottom card. Whoop. So I got that play a card from hand ability. I'm going to do that. Womp, womp, womp. Just like that. And then it'll give me a +1. And if you want me to stop narrating what I'm doing because it's not helping you, then I will stop narrating what I'm doing.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm moving this one down with this. Or
Oh,
like
yeah, yep. You can totally
yeah.
do that. Yep. Yep. Let's see. I'm gonna slide that all the way to the right. Whoop. And then I've got a bid of 5.
I got a bit of 2.
2.
And I have a bid of 6.
All right. So bid of 6 is the high bid you're going to pick. Do you think you're going to make a column of red to multi?
No.
Okay, so you take 1 point, and then I get the chance to make a column of red for some extra points.
Yeah.
So we shall see what happens with this. And then discard down, and then so whoever didn't win a point or a druid, aka me, is going to slide this card over and do the ability in the banner.
Yep.
What?
Bam. And then you can discard whatever you want and draw. What?
Do your ability.
That doesn't stop you from getting that?
Oh, sorry. Sasha's going to do that.
Yeah.
I was just stealing his fancy ability.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Cheater.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I was just stealing your goods. You're like, wait a minute now. You just said.
I thought I understood it.
No, you did. You did.
Okay.
I was just cheating. Okay, cool. Discard anything if you want to, and then draw back up to 4 or 5, depending on if you have that little token. And then we're bidding on this fancy little card right there. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I also have this card from last turn.
Oh, yep,
Look
that
at
should be in
one.
your hand.
Yeah.
I tried to do that, but I was cheating.
Oh, I was supposed to get one more card because I have the thingy.
How reasonable is the idea that I might have multiple columns of the same?
It depends on which suit, because
Okay.
some of them are more present than others.
Generally, the high value suits.
Yeah.
Are
if you look at the druid, if it's just the symbol, which means it's just like 1 bonus point, you know that there's more of those cards. If it's like ×3, then you know that there's not as many of those.
All right.
So your blue column in and of itself is just worth 3 points, and then if you get this thing, then each blue column is worth another 3 points. But those are less frequently seen in the deck.
And the swap card abilities, even though the arrow is horizontal. It's swap any two. Any
Yes, I need to put a little
place. Got it.
curve, a little curvilinear thing to give you the idea
All
that
right.
it could be any 2 cards.
I am good.
I
we're
am
just
not quite good.
Waiting on. I mean,
Mr. Slow over
are
here.
you ever good? That's the question.
Never.
Never.
Let's go. Man, what am I even doing? Let's go. How wild and fancy do I want to try and be? Let's go there, and guess here.
Cool. All right, bottoms up. Damn, that's just a straight up +3. Oh, a straight up +4, like a son of a gun. All right.
All right.
Slide it in, and I'm just gonna swap these 2 cards. Just gonna swap. Yes, these 2 cards. And
that there.
I got a 6.
Put this here.
Got a 5.
Oh, this doesn't go there. This is here. I have a 7.
7, 6, 5. Alrighty.
So my card bumps over, and you guys get the Eric gets the choice. You get the remainder.
Yeah. I am going to take it. I already have a column,
right? So
and
might
I'm
as well.
set up for another.
Yeah,
so
might as well. So I will take a point. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So then do I get one of these little things?
No, you have the card over there.
Okay. What are these circles and stuff?
So when somebody chooses the face of the druid, the second highest person is going to get the point, and I'm using these little marbles as points.
Okay.
And when somebody chooses the point on the druid, then the second highest person is going to get the scoring multiplier, which I'm representing with this thing.
Okay. All right. All right, and now I'm
going to discard draw 4.
What am I getting rid of?
Now we're bidding on this son of a gun that Eric definitely wants.
Yes.
This is discarded.
What is draw card?
This shall be what we call hate drafting. It's not nice.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
All right.
There we go. Cool. Oh, we're waiting for.
Yeah, Mr. Slow over here.
Slow punk.
Old slow. Old slowy. Let's go here and here.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. So I'm gonna switch 2 cards. I'm just gonna switch these 2.
Drawn cards. Always the classic.
Drawn cards.
It's card selection, not card advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm gonna swippy swap 2 cards. I would swap these 2. No. Yes. No.
Actually,
I will swap these 2.
What happens if my tableau is full?
You can start like collecting the right side of your tableau and be like, all right, I've got a column of blue, and then slide
Okay.
everything over
All right.
if it's getting in the way. What? Oh, one moment, please. I have a husbandly duty to do. Let's see.
No worries.
Okay.
I've got a bit of 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, hold
Bit
on.
of 7. I'm gonna flip over Evan's card.
How dare you?
Evan also has 7,
What?
but I have the moon.
I have the conscience. Okay.
I will take the point. So, yeah.
All right. This, I guess, slides over, and then I get the
Okay.
ability.
Yeah, just
Okay,
as
what
if it was
happened?
placed in the center.
What happened?
We both did 7, but I had the moon.
Oh, okay. So I'm second highest.
And then you get the moon, is that right?
Well, third highest gets the moon.
Third, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And so I get this ability, and this is I can just move something I can move something horizontally.
Yes, you pick one card and move it as far as you want horizontally.
All right.
Move this yellow all the way to the bottom.
I was thinking about it, but I realized that would be not so great.
Maybe
I
don't do
think,
You could do nothing.
yeah,
Just by moving this over and then having it drop
I
down.
think I want to move this.
Oof. That's a heck of a draw. Okay.
Discarding that, line 4, into this.
You know what I'm gonna do? Is that right there?
So I definitely want to do that there.
So if I do that, what happens? Decisions. Okay. I think.
Sasha, did you beat me last time we played? I think so.
I can't remember. I think it was close. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like 16 to 17 or something.
Yeah. Just figure out how this will resolve. That goes there.
Man,
Okay, I guess
I need to get a column of blue going.
Just
I
see
want
what
them
happens.
points. All right. Bottoms up. That's the new name of the game.
Ooh, I like it.
Bottoms up. It's a drinking game.
Got it. That makes sense.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and swap these two suckers. All right. Got a massive bid up there.
I guess this sort of messes me up. Well,
Yeah, all right. Gotta move these down. I have a purple column.
Clear the way! Clear the way!
yeah, I really messed myself up.
Did you? I like that.
Yeah, I didn't quite think a lot about it for long enough, I guess.
All right.
Top card. Got 6.
I've got a 3.
I've got a 3, but I have the thing.
Yep, so I get the thing. Sasha's gonna choose, and you're gonna get the thing that Sasha
You're
doesn't
gonna get the
want.
remainder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. Interesting. So this is worth a point to me, or it's worth a point to me.
Yes, but if you get another column of yellow, then it would be worth 2 points to you.
Yeah, I don't see that happening before the end of the game. So I guess I will take the guaranteed points to leave Eric with a not guaranteed point.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And then
Don't want this. Or this. So this card here, well, just so you know when you're bidding on it, the top ability is +1 card draw. So when she or they are showing up later in the turn order,
Yeah.
it's not quite as good to draw 1 extra card for twice. But so you might just take the point. But yeah. But either way, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Get
how
rid
come
of
I am
those
getting
two.
so many of those?
if I do that,
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the spiral cards at all.
there are no
None.
spiral cards. It's
Okay.
gives you +1 to your hand size.
Yeah.
And it's just worth a point at the end, or is it not worth any points?
It's if you flip it over onto its back, it's worth a point. If you keep
But
it
if you
face
get
up,
the
it's an
normal,
extra card draw at the end of every round.
but no point.
But no point.
Got it.
So that's what I was saying. Like later in the druid order is not, that's one of those ones where I should probably just take the point. Unless you're really hunting for something, then maybe you want that last card draw.
Wait. Okay.
Par ejemplo, I am really hunting for something.
That goes there. If that goes there. Okay. Let me think about this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I guess that's better. So there's this round and then one more round after that, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And at the end of the last round, you will get 1 point for every 3 cards in your hands. So those card draw abilities are still relevant in the final round. Just so you know. Just so you
Mm. Do I want to gamble on it just working out
know.
by the end? Or do I want to fix it right now? And that's for that one. Shiza. I guess I'll just whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Okay, I'm gonna slide this all the way out of the way. Womp.
Move that down there.
And go like this, and I'm actually gonna swap these 2 cards. And I've got a 6.
Got a 5.
Don't need to flip that. I've got a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you
I'm
get to
gonna
choose.
take the point.
Take the point. All right. I will get the bonus draw.
Okay.
All
And I
right.
get the card, comes over.
And I do want to ditch this card. Draw.
Move this down here.
4. Just not what I needed, people. Okay, well, so be it. Man,
So this is final round.
that's brutal. Yes. That is brutal. So that's going where? No. Let's go here. And this is going here.
Do that.
All right.
Did I totally ruin everything? I think so. I think I ruined everything. It's fine.
Okay, flip up.
It's fine. So let's see.
Slide that down there. Makes sense to me.
I think I'm moving this down.
Guess I'm doing that. I'm not excited by
No.
that. Okay.
Son of a gun. Everything is ruined. Oh.
Oof.
Oh.
That's not a pretty set of cards there.
Everything is ruined. I'm sliding. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Everything's ruined. What have I done?
You at least get that red row, or did you? Is your next card a thing that messes that up?
I think I have to slide that down. Oh, the tangled web we do weave. I thought I was going to get the thing I needed, and I did not. So I'm going to swap these two cards. And then I've got a bid of 4.
7.
3.
All right. Well,
Do you want the multiplier or the point?
Sasha's would get
It doesn't get to me. It would come
It'll go to me.
okay. Oh, so it's I'll take 1 point versus 0 points for you. I'll take 1 point.
Yeah, that's the right way.
Yeah.
All right, so this slides in, and
I almost had a green column.
Wait, that doesn't slide in.
Oh, it doesn't slide in. Son of a gun! I actually tried to get the lowest. Well, I ruined everything for myself. Game's over, and I ruined everything for myself.
Yeah, get wrecked.
I totally am. But at the very least. Oh, wait a minute.
I think Eric's in pretty good position.
So each of my purples are 2 points.
Yeah.
Because of this, so I get 4.
I think I was
7.
When did I draw that?
I get 10 points.
Do you? Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Draw back up to 4 cards, and you get 1 point from that.
Yeah, 1 point for every 4 cards in your hand, or for every 3 cards in your hand. Sorry. I think I forgot to draw these into my hand a long time ago, so I don't think those are actually in my hand. Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Is this
Yeah.
worth points, or is it just
It's not.
towards the card?
It's the card,
Yeah.
Tiebreaker, right?
and it's tiebreaker. Sasha, what do you got? 1,
I think I have 8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
Yep.
So we got 11, 8, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yep.
That is that.
All right.
Son of a gun. I totally messed myself up. That's what I get. Okay. Let's move on to feedback.
Sweet.
All right. I probably have more useful fresh feedback, so I guess I'll go first. I like it. It is relatively simple. It took a little bit of time to like quite get what was going on, but once I saw it happening, it's just very straightforward.
Good.
Like after the first round, it made total sense. I felt as though my center row got very clogged, in part because I was just playing a lot of cards that put things into the center row. I don't know if that's intentional, but it was sticking out. And I feel as though some of it's just misplaying on my part. It felt like it was clunky to use. Maybe I wasn't getting the cards. Overall, though,
wait, didn't you win?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
None of this is objective. It's just the feelings. You know?
It felt like you were putting too many cards in your middle row.
Yes, it felt like there's just an abundance of just cards right here. I don't know what to do with it. But in the end, it worked out pretty well. I felt like there was more that I could do. There were difficult decisions. I always like hidden bidding. That part is always fun too.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what people value more than you, and let's see. Obviously, it's only very, very loosely thematic. But what can you do with something like this? Like, it's not a set of mechanisms that easily have theme come to them. I think this works pretty well. I like the idea of runes and the shifting landscape and so on.
Yeah.
Uh,
I do have a whole story, but my brain is like, here's how the game works, and it doesn't talk about story. But
yeah. The tokens on the side representing the like untaken druid card felt weird to me.
yeah.
Like
So
I'm not sure why that isn't just there aren't just a like however many druid cards there are, like 7 or something like that. If there were just like 7 1-point cards and 7 druid cards,
Yeah.
and you just took one or the
Yeah.
other.
So now is a good time to bring up the differences between a 1 or 2 player game and a 2 to 4 player game. And this is just based off of kind of it's in my brain that it could be broken down into 2-player boxes that you could buy multiple of. It won't necessarily be that way, but I'm messing around with that idea in my brain. So that's why I had the 2 decks that I, merged to make one deck. Basically, you buy a box, it has the 7 druids and the 72 cards. You buy a second box, it's got 7 druids and 72 cards. Each druid has a front side and a back side, and they're exactly the same. So when you're making your central row of your like lineup of druids, you will have 2 cards for each druid.
In a 3 or 4 player game?
In a 3 or 4 player game. They'll just be stacked under each other. Like you'll still only have the 7 rounds, but then the person who wins is going to grab both of these cards and decide whether they're doing the front or the back, and then the second person's going to take the other card with the opposite.
Okay,
so it won't be tokens. It'll be another druid card that you just flip it over.
Yeah.
Flip it over.
Yes.
I don't know if that's better, but that was my thinking.
No, that makes sense to me. Something along those lines. The token just felt perhaps a little clunky, but I liked it. I felt, I guess I felt like I had less opportunities to really move stuff around. But maybe that was just what I was drawing. I wasn't getting a lot of I was getting a lot of cards that drew more cards, which was nice. I think early on, knowing whether to go for a bid seems really arbitrary. I don't know if that's something like there could be some like minor incentive to help push players in one direction more than another for colors that none of them have. But I'm not sure if that's really necessary.
Right.
It feels pretty polished. Yeah, it had the problem of a lot of tableau building things where you're looking down, and you look up, and it's like, oh, cool. What are you doing? But there's not a ton of interaction. There's the bidding.
Right. The bidding, yeah.
But I think that's more inherent to the genre than like a critique of this. I think that's most of what I've got. Any particular questions you want to ask?
Cool. Yeah, we used to have some Take That, and then we almost immediately removed it. I'll ask a couple of general questions, but after I'll let Sasha go first.
So, like I've said before, I have played this game several times now, and there's been some changes along the way. The changes from the last time I played to this time, are not like too extreme of changes. So new thoughts or feedback that I'm or I wonder if some of this is reiterating feedback that I've given before. But okay. I did have a question. So in a 2-player game, you just when you get a druid, you choose if you want the point or the druid ability.
Yes, and then the second player is going to get the token.
In a 2-player game?
Yeah, in a 2-player game. So basically, yeah, 2-player game. The first player is going to choose which
The token being this thing, not the
yes,
token.
right.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And then their card bumps over. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how about in a 4-player game? Do
Yeah,
the
3 and 4
last 2
player
players get
3 and 4 player games are work the same. Highest gets their pick of the druid ability. Second highest gets the other thing. Third highest gets the token, and fourth highest gets nothing. The two who did not get a point, who did not get a druid card.
Oh, so being
to
the
move their card
lowest doesn't get you the token.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. That is a minor change.
Yeah.
Since last time. Yeah.
I feel like that would confuse me if I was playing, if I like played a 3-player version or a 2-player version and then played a 4-player version.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the situation that I'm in, so I can only speak hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Make it clear that.
Yeah, there'd be a card that's like, what's the difference when I'm playing with 2 boxes versus 1 box?
Mm-hmm, for sure. So in the teach, I just making it really clear in the teach that like there are less of this card than there are this card and stuff. Obviously, I already knew the game. I already knew that was the case, but I didn't hear.
Did
it
I forget
in the
to say that? Yeah.
There was just like, oh, these ones are more valuable. Card backs. Oh, yeah. It was just a little, like, obviously graphic designing. Just like the card backs disappear on the mat, when they're backwards.
I just stole some art from one of the cards and made it the back.
Yeah, totally. And I know that it's not something that you're really working on or focus on right now, but that was just something.
Yeah.
Second place thing felt a little weird. Yeah. There was just like a couple of decision points where I was making that decision and the decision felt weird. Like it felt like it didn't matter very much.
Okay.
Or it like mattered a lot more what I was giving you than what I was getting. Like it was often, do I get a point or do I get a point? How does it affect you?
Right. And is that interesting to have to think about how it affects the other person?
I think it's interesting.
Annoying?
I would have liked if it was more interesting.
Uh-huh.
That was my main feedback on that point is I felt like I was being asked to make a decision that I didn't feel like was all that interesting, and so I'd like that to be more interesting or not making the decision.
Yeah.
It just felt like it could be more interesting.
Does anything pop into your mind as far as what would make it more interesting? It's okay if not, but just
not right this second. I'll think on it, but I didn't have a exact fix. It did just feel sort of like a bummer, like winning this first one,
right?
Because I didn't want you to get it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I have to lose a point,
right?
In order, like I'm already putting in the effort to play less optimal cards to get it away from you,
right?
And then I also get punished because I don't get the point now for winning it,
right?
And that felt bad.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of set the tone for how I felt about that mechanic.
Sure.
But then there was other points later on where it was like winning the yellow one.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I knew that there was not enough time to get another yellow row.
Right.
And so it was just like, and so I just like wanted it to, that choice only felt bad or not like it mattered to me.
Right.
And so, second place. You either got the card or a token even if you lose. I got to take card. yeah, no, this was essentially resolved with when you and Eric were talking about having 2 copies for
Okay, yeah.
a 4-player game.
Yep.
Yeah, you have 2 things.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say for our game, why don't we just like have this be the point, and then the other person gets the card, and whoever gets the card,
Right, yeah.
rather than the marbles. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's already
You
resolved.
don't want to collect marbles? Come on. Come here.
Druids are often oh yeah. I already talked about that. Oh, and then the last thing I've written down here is just a TTS thing, just going into zones and deleting the hand zones that are
Yeah.
on the side here.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's not annoying.
Totally. They were super annoying. Can you
There's something that I didn't write down, but I
can you
definitely
keep
did.
hands with players if you delete the hand zones?
I mean, you don't need these players, right?
Oh,
Like,
you can delete specific ones?
Yeah, you just right click when you hit zones and you hit hands, then you can see all the zones, and then you just right click the ones you don't want and hit delete. I'm not promoted, so I can't do it, but
You are some kind of
yeah, there you
wizard.
go.
Wow. Look at
Yeah, and so then people won't accidentally sit down there
right.
either. And
I just deleted them. That's amazing.
Yep. So
okay. Cool.
that's but what I was
Clever.
gonna say that was gameplay related is after playing it with these Candy Crush away,
yeah,
I really wanted that. Like, I
just get rid of it. Get
Eric
stuff out of the way.
got to do it because his board was too big, but it would have actively helped me strategically.
Why?
Because there was junk at my bottom, and if I had Candy Crush this, then it would make it easier to resolve my bottom.
Explain that.
Because I just moved all these cards closer to the messed up ones at the bottom, and some of these ones matched the ones that were messed up on the bottom.
I've got an example on my board. Like
okay,
if
great.
these purple went away, it would be easier for me to like move all of this down and with a bit of manipulation, getting like if I got a yellow here, I could pump it down. I can move things around in here more easily.
Okay.
Whereas if the purple were there, then I'd be messing stuff up.
There was a specific situation where it would have like actively helped me fix an annoying setup if it Candy Crushed away. And then it also is again a board, like Eric was having to do it because of board space, and I just unless there's like a reason that you really don't want it to happen, I would like it from a strategic point of view.
It just like once you create a column, it disappears.
It
basically.
goes.
Yeah.
I feel as though it would enable higher scoring. It definitely has some advantages. It would create some fun moments, but it also creates some more challenges because as you get higher up, it becomes harder. I don't know.
So I mean, you were Candy Crushing,
but not in ways that would matter as much.
In my head, I can't visualize how it would make a difference one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no reason to not do
it. Yeah. I think the time that it mattered, I think it has to do with when I wanted to like push this way to line this up, and if I push this way, then it would have messed up this thing.
But
and if this had Candy Crushed out of the way, I wouldn't have to worry about messing that up.
Okay, I think I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Which happened to me.
Yeah.
And I had to like put in extra work to like be able to fix this bottom row.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's everything that I had written down, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. One thing, I guess, going off of Sasha's point that the like exact mixture of the deck isn't presented as obvious.
Yeah.
You could graphic design that like on the druid or something somewhere.
Right.
Like how many exist?
The percentage of
I did wonder how many of these exist because I won this right off the bat.
Yes.
But I saw that you already had 2, and so I was like,
well, I will say that never drew a third. Never drew a third one.
Yeah.
There are, let's see, there's 4 sets of 18 cards, right? Because 4 sets of 18 is 72, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's 8 sets of 18 cards. And there is 1 of this suit in the set of 18. So there are 8 of these cards in the stack of 144.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at most 2 total columns.
Right.
1, 2.
Assuming you draw 6 of them out of the 8 in the entire deck. So could be done.
What? Do you guys have some in your hand or something?
I've got one of.
I have some cards in my hand.
Oh, of these.
Oh,
Because I'm only seeing 6, including the one that was in Eric's hand.
There's 1, 2 still in the deck.
Yeah.
I was looking through the deck.
Oh.
Well, there's 2. I'm seeing a few in the deck.
Search. Here's the discard pile. I mean, unless I mess something up, there should be.
Oh yeah, no.
Should be.
I think I didn't count the ones that you had on your board for some reason.
Okay.
So yeah, there are 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I only had seen 1, and you said you didn't see any. That's the only reason I was wondering on the count, because.
I've got 2
there
on
was
my
no
board.
way I was
I just
gonna
never drew a third.
get a row of this.
Yeah, I use them to win bids a lot, because I mean, just throwing one in the top column is basically a free point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're really good, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, the bidding payouts, I already talked about the difference there between the 1 and 2 player and the 3 and 4 player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which Adam me showed, who's watching the show, had asked about. And now in my head, there's also a 5 and 6 player version where you buy a third box, right? You sit at a big table.
Okay.
At a big table.
Infinite scaling?
Theoretically, but you probably wouldn't want to go over 6 just because, like, table size.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, this is already a bit of a table hog. And 6 is probably max, I would think. But you could do. Anyway, so the way I was thinking of doing it, so then you'd have 3 sets of druids, right? So the highest winner would get both the multi-scoring and the point. You would take 2 of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
The second highest winner would just take the last card and choose front or back.
Mm-hmm.
And then third highest would get the token.
Got it.
That was my idea for 5 and 6 players. Haven't tried it. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the exact right way to do larger player counts scaling. Even 3 and 4 player, because when only 1 person won the druid, I don't know, sometimes people felt bummy about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it wasn't enough of a consolation if you got second highest and you only got this little token.
Yeah. The additional danger with the higher player counts is ties being more common, which makes the clockwise thing more often the way that ties are broken down, which can not feel the best.
Right. It I think it helps that I moved it out of, lowest bid takes it up to, the next highest bid takes it.
Yeah.
I think that helps with that, but I just haven't played it, tested it enough since that changed to really know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you were gonna start asking questions.
Yeah.
Did you
So
already
my
ask those
my
questions?
real question is, like Eric, as a new player, does what kind of weight do you feel like this is? How accessible do you think it is? That kind of thing.
Um, well, I
Like
think
if.
this is like a low two.
Mhm.
Like, it's probably it reminds me of Bonanza in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Like you're doing some manipulation stuff, but it's not too intense.
Mhm.
I but I'd say it's more complex than that, but there's definitely some similarities as far as just like where my head's at, what kind of things I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Okay.
I yeah, it's relatively
Positioning.
accessible. I think the theme is uh, it's reasonable. I think generic fantasy does have some people who aren't as into it, but it also
Mhm.
does have just some classic appeal. And
Mhm.
this feels as though it's a little bit like off from tired tropes, so
Yeah.
it can pull from both of those wells, and I like that.
I was
Uh,
curious, without giving you any of the actual theme, I was curious what would, if anything, actually come through.
uh, I mean, I play some very abstract games,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm often just looking at mechanics.
Yeah. I'm similar.
But uh, and I mean, the fact that there the art is only halfway done, which the art you
Yes.
have is amazing.
Right. Yes.
But
Feel very, very lucky to be working with this art.
yeah, I feel as though honestly just having like a name for a column or whatever, like ritual or whatever, like if something's completed, you've aligned your runes,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Some little thematic
Mm-hmm.
term
Okay.
to would uh make a bit of a
Wildwood.
difference. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes throwing that into the teach is something that really helps. I know some people hate that and don't want anything other than the simplest technical terms.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I
flavor
tend to
in
be
my
in that
teach.
I tend to be in that camp
Yeah.
where I'm like, do I discard a card or draw a card? Tell me which.
Mm-hmm. You shuffle it into oblivion. Uh, yeah. Honestly, the symbols help to add a lot of the theme.
Mm-hmm.
They're both straightforward, but they feel like they could be scratched into a dolmen stone somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, So, sort of on that point, something that I think this game evokes a little bit for me are those like shifting puzzles where
Yeah.
you're like
Oh,
moving things
right.
around to complete
Yeah,
an
yeah.
image.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I sort of was I sort of feel like these are stones to some degree, or
Hmm.
that's sort of what is evoked with the movement.
Okay.
I know that the art isn't showing stones,
Yeah.
but that is sort of like the feeling that I get.
Well, it's because
And when you
you
said
didn't drop
runes,
any blue threes. That's why you didn't have any stones.
yeah, I know. I just needed more blue threes. Um, but yeah, so that was just something that uh, aspects of what you're doing. This
Yeah.
reminded me of that.
Cool. Okay. And then this one's more for Sasha because he's played it before. Now, what I did do, switching up a bunch of abilities, was I got rid of um, a decent number of swaps.
Okay.
Um, and I'm also concerned about the number of place card from hand into center row. Um,
Eric seemed to get a lot of those. I
He
didn't get a
did.
lot of those.
He did. So I'm curious what your take on like, did you notice a difference from last time you played as far as like ability concentration?
Um, well, I think just sort of variance wise, I didn't. I got variance wise, I got a lot of
You
the
got those
swaps,
anyway, yeah.
and I got like very few of the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So I think just the variance of this game, I didn't experience that.
Yeah.
But I still like getting the placement ones. There was like one or two times where I was potentially gonna place it here, and I didn't have it was gonna mess up my plan in
Right.
some way to
Right.
do it. And so
So
the
it's not like
couple
you never
times
had access. It
it's
just
not like I
wasn't
never had access, but the times that I did have access, I didn't really
wanted
want
to.
to use
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw Eric having a lot of them, and I'm sure he didn't play every single one that he had, but he just like has a lot of them, and I definitely saw that.
Well, yeah.
Um,
What I did for a lot of things was just fill up the middle column and then just shuffle one up, one down.
yeah,
There you go.
no, you get more stuff on your board, which is it's definitely. I think it's generally good to get more things on your
Yes.
board.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my experience. I didn't come across them that much, and the two times that I did come across them,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like I strategically really wanted to use it. I think
Yeah.
I used it once.
Yeah. And then Eric, you felt like maybe there was just a little bit too much of that placement.
Uh, maybe a little bit,
Okay.
or just like I wasn't getting enough vertical movement to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it could also just be variability of the shuffle. I was drawing a lot of cards. The colors I had lots of were the ones that were putting more things out, and it just
Right.
kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
Well, you should have played these cards to fix your.
Maybe,
Yeah. One up, one
maybe.
down.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. What else? Any other strong feelings or any standout things? Oh wait, let's see. Trevor says, "I remember this one."
Well, I remember Trevor.
Yeah.
Oh, what does Kat say?
Let's see. Kat says, "Hi all. In my opinion, a more thematic teach can help people understand how to play, why they're doing the things." Yeah, that's true. That is
It
true.
people are very polarized on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, it just kind of gets in my way of the understanding most of the time. But I know that I think more frequently people really do want the theme in the teach to help them understand why certain mechanisms are happening.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the weird end. But that's okay.
No.
But I was also actually specifically interested to see what thematic things did or didn't come out just in the gameplay itself. And I guess the art as well that you do see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely like shuffling around as a landscape. It felt like some magical component somewhere, like slowly trying to align things,
Mm-hmm.
ideas of like ley lines or
Mm-hmm.
like setting up henge stones to have something happen.
Channel energy.
Yeah.
Have like tell time. I don't know. Uh,
Look
yeah.
at the equinox.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I won't take your whole night or belabor the
Okay.
point. But I really appreciate you taking the time to take a look.
Yeah. Cool
Thanks for
game.
jumping
Thanks for
in,
showing
Eric.
it.
Go have dinner.
Yeah.
And thanks for everybody in the chat for stopping in. I think I answered everybody's questions.
Did you answer Adam's questions? I just saw them now.
I did. Yeah, he was asking about how you handle bidding payouts at the 4-player and the 2-player. Which
Nice.
was at 4-player, it's highest person picks which bonus they want. Second person takes the other thing. and then third person takes the moon token, the
Got
balance token, and then in a 2-player, it's just highest bidder chooses which side. Second person gets the moon token.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna go have a late
Yeah.
dinner.
Go have dinner, man.
Yeah.
Tell the people at home where they can find you and support
I
you
mean,
in all of your wonderful endeavors.
let's see. We've got a Facebook at what Dovecot the game is I think the biggest way to find our current game. I'm also just Eric Hall on Facebook. If you can find me among the so many other Eric Halls that are out there, there's a disambiguation page for my name on
That's
Wikipedia.
awesome. Did you mean this, Eric? There's like 48,000 of you.
More than that. Anyway, yes. Yeah, we've got a Dovecot game page on Wikipedia. I mean, on Facebook, and yeah, we have a Discord server as well. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Take
Cool,
it
man.
easy.
Go have dinner. Thanks, man. Sasha,
Boy.
tell the kids at home where they can find you and support you.
I mean, similar because Eric and I are design partners. So yeah, Facebook group, our Discord
Do you want me
server,
to
S&E
update
Games.
your link instead of to the Discord to the Facebook?
I think I prefer the Discord
Okay,
just because that's sort of how we set up playtests and stuff.
Okay, cool.
So I guess just I expect this audience to be more designers, and so if you're a designer and are interested in playtesting or are someone that likes to playtest swap or whatever, our Discord is really the place to go. But if you want to just follow along, the Facebook is also an option, but both link to each other. So no matter where you go, you can find the other one.
You'll find you.
Yeah. But yeah, Sasha Jelton on Facebook as well if you want to reach out to me for some other reason, business inquiries.
Professional sound designer.
Yes. Audio post-production.
That's what I said.
Some composition.
That's also what I said. I definitely know all the ins and outs, and I don't know. I'm like, that person's an engineer, that person's a sound designer. I don't know any of the specifics. I don't know what any of it means. You hit buttons and things sound good.
Yeah.
I am Evan Halbert. I have games such as this, as well as such as very other different things. Go buy 87 copies of After the Empire, and then a new game coming out from Emily Willix called Bah Humbug. I have one of the additional 12 games, not all of them, just one of those 12 that I made. It's a little trick-taking game. So go buy a ton of those copies and hand them out to all your friends and family. And I don't know if you can still late pledge on that or not, but maybe. Anyway, thanks everybody. Any last minute things? Oh, Kat says
she prefers
Facebook preferred. Maybe I'll hey Sasha, will you Facebook message me the Facebook group, and I'll put that attached to Eric's little
so
thing.
we have both
so that they'll both be there.
The advantage of us both being on.
Yeah, when I go in and do the thing. Okay, cool. Well, sir, as always, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful